without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we bring in the head coach of the NE8 champion, Girard Lady Indians, who tonight will be going back to the Thriller Dome to take on South Range for the third time this year. Ladies and gentlemen, a friend of the program, a friend of all of ours, and a guy that we love so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Joe Bornemis. Coach, how are you?
What's up, guys? How are you today?
We're great, Coach. Good to see you. Congratulations on all your success.
You guys got this place going to be packed up tonight. I know. You probably got the police bringing people in. You probably got the dairy cleans, the restaurants closed. You probably got the whole city down. That's okay, man. That's okay.
You know how we roll.
I get it. Doing good, guys. Doing good.
Hey, good to see you, Coach.
The Thriller Dome's not the Thriller Dome without a thrilling crowd, right? I mean, come on.
I know it.
Let's start right at the top. I mean, news to me. I was doing the head scratching yesterday when Anthony's trying to describe why it's at the Thriller Dome, why it's at South Range High School. Explain to me your feelings and your kind of like, we won the NE8, but why? I mean, did you knew that going into that? Obviously, we're more well read than I am. But like, is that a frustrating thing that you're a championship team and now you're road warriors?
Well, you know what, DJ, what had happened is we had to have all the counts in on Friday, and we ended up playing South Range on Saturday. So even with beating them at our place, it didn't matter to us because, you know, the Max Preps had us set where we were at. Now, would we have jumped ahead of them if we could have had the voting in on Saturday? Maybe. You know, it's hard saying, but that's one of the reasons why it kind of ended up, you know, those slots like that. We didn't have that game in, and we had to have everything in on that Friday.
And at that time, they were both tied, by the way. So at that time, they were both tied in the conference. It was that Saturday matchup was pretty much a first place matchup. Girard won it, but like he said, the votes and the counts were already in. Coach, I want to take us back to the start-ish of the season. You and I were talking. I think we were at Mineral Ridge, and you called it. You said this year the NE8 is going to be a little bit bonkers. The winner could have 3 losses, and here you are, NE8 champions, and you nailed it like the dart with the bullseye. 3 conference losses. You win the NE8, a very topsy-turvy NE8. You have to navigate, you know, a conference that everyone can beat everyone in any given night. Talk about going through this conference season and how much more rewarding it is to come out on top of it.
You know, it's very exciting. You know, it could have been tied with 5 losses. You know, if we get beat by Lakeview, you know, we got to beat Hubbard, and then it gets down to Poland. So it could have been tied with, you know, a couple teams with 5 losses actually. So you know, I knew it. I knew it going into this year. I just knew the new coaches coming in. You know, I knew what kids were coming back. I just knew it was going to be a very, very competitive league. And any night, and as you've seen, anything could happen, anything at all.
Did you feel like kind of a flight pilot? You know, when you get on, this is your captain speaking. There's going to be a little turbulence throughout the year, but if you just hang on, we're going to get there, and we'll be wearing the crown when all the push comes to shove.
You know, we really felt good about ourselves, you know, after we won up at Lakeview. That was a big win for us. You know, it's very hard to play up there, smaller gym. You know, when the girls came out with that one, you know, we started feeling pretty good about ourselves. You know, that was a big win for us there.
Coach, one of the big reasons why you were able to come out on top was the offensive 3-headed monster that you have that's so hard to defend. If people want to take away Mackenzie White, hey, you got Kaylee Wilkes. If people want to take away her, you got Allie Gassman. If people want to take away Gassman, you got both of those girls. What's it been like to see those 3, especially on offense, succeed as much as they have this year? And then what's it been like to see the whole team on defense really just locked down, especially down the stretch of the season?
You know, those 3 have been catalysts for us all year. I mean, there's no hiding them. You know, They just got a nose for the rim, and then you throw in Mac, how she offensive rebounds, that even helps her game out a lot more. When we went to Southeast, we played 8 girls. And what's nice right about now is even those 3 girls we're pulling off the bench, the Ivory Hewitts, the Jess Hansons, the Gianna Saxons, Ivory came in and gave us 8 points against Southeast. Saxon gave us a couple good buckets. Hanson's all over the place defensively. When you're playing with 8 girls mixing in, and then the style that we play and giving those girls a blow defensively or offensively, and we really didn't lose a step against Southeast. That shows a measure of how we practice, and how those girls, we don't say you're competing for quarters. At Girard, they compete for minutes. Any minutes, whatever it is, a minute, 45 seconds, they know they got to go in and give us everything they got. Defensively, I think that's key to it. When we can give those breaks, especially with our pressure, even when we back up into half court, we're still trapping, we're still doing, anything we can to turn the ball over or create quick shots. And with Coach Foster, he just locks them in, and gets us in a plan where we try to follow that. We told the girls when we got into that Lakeview game, I told them one word. I said, you know what? And you can ask any of them. I said, we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it very simple. We're not going to get crazy and over going different things and different routes with different things. We're just going to keep it simple and do what we do.
That's incredible. I mean, you just stole my next question, was going to be, what's your calling card for this year? You've got franchise players, you've got playmakers, you got grinders, you got up and comers. To get a group like this to gel over the course of a year, you'd love to have these kids for all of them for 4 years. You know what I mean? All the way through just one team. But to get that kind of charismatic, that riz, so to speak, that these kids have nowadays, to get it all to flow together, what does it take for a coach to get it so quickly, to kind of be in the lab and to make sure that this thing is a good product out on the floor, a championship quality and caliber product that you put out this year?
Well, we have to stick to our guns as coaches. We lay it on the line, starting from last year, of how we were going to play, how we were going to condition, how we were going to lift, how we were going to do bands. We had a plan put in place. And I really think, with playing Wilkes and playing Hewitt, Ivory, and playing Schubert as freshmen last year, they're experienced dogs out there now, man. They are, and they're only sophomores, but playing a full schedule last year and knowing what our program expects, these girls, we can start practice tonight, and for the first 20 minutes, I don't have to say a word. I mean, I put on 20 minutes on the clock, and I really don't have to say much. They just know what to go to. And that's the kind of system we're trying to build. And that happens through our 7th grade up. So they kind of know, what to expect when they hit that freshman level.
It was the end of that question was a perfect segue. I want to know kind of how you're doing with the youth. I mean, this is your 2nd year as a head coach. You're starting to build the program the way you want it. What kind of developments are you seeing in junior high and even lower that make you really optimistic for even the future of Girard?
Well, first of all, they got to kind of do what we're doing. We want to make sure they understand what our calls are. That's very important. It might sound silly, but Coach Foster and myself aren't going to change our calls. Our calls are what they are, offensively and defense. So that's the first thing. They have to know. They might not do it as well, but they know what we're talking about when they're sitting in the stands. They know what a 22 is. They know what a 1-3-1 thumbs ups is. They know what our circle is. They know what our circle slips are. They know all our offensive and defensive calls. And that's very important. Like I said, they may not do it as well, but they're still learning it.
You talk about learning. I mean, the girls are expected to learn from you. But I guess one question I like asking coaches is, what's one thing or two things that you've learned from this group of your team, this group of ladies, that you're going to take for the rest of your days?
Well, coaching girls, I've coached both. And I had some success at Matthews with that program over there with the girls. And then I jumped back with the boys. I've learned with girls, first of all, they're hard workers. Second of all, they play through pain. When they get hurt, they play. And third of all, you got to be a good listener. There's so many more things going on with girls in their lives nowadays. And, there's things just going on outside of the basketball court. And, life lessons are very important, that you just become a good listener, either a one-on-one thing or, with the kids as a group. But I've learned, that listening is very important when you're coaching the young ladies.
Coach, my last question for you is kind of a preview of tonight. That's kind of one of the reasons why we brought you on. We wanted to hear from you about this matchup, trying to beat a team a third time of the year, going on the road to do so. What are some of the keys to victory tonight? What are some of the mindsets that you think you're going to bring into this South Range game?
It's no secrets with me and Coach Jeff. I've watched so much film, it's almost like I coach with him. I mean, I've watched so much film of him, and I'm sure he's the same way. It's going to be more of a chess match tonight with him and I. He knows what we do. We know what he does. He's going to try to do to us what he thinks the best thing is to force us into bad situations. And, we're going to do the same thing against him. We just got to make sure we stay to our plan and do the things that we do correctly. I had a small interview with the Tribune last night, and I told him if Brooke Perry and Mackenzie White can rebound like they should, and we can get the ball out and run a little bit, I think it'll give us a chance in the fourth quarter. But Coach Jeff's going to be ready. Our girls are excited. They just like playing on the road. I don't know what it is. I mean, they are very good. For how young they are, they really adapt and handle things well in environments. And I speak highly of that because it's hard. It is hard when you're a young girl and you're going out and it's loud, like at Lakeview. And you got to stay focused with me on what I'm trying to coach out there. And, they have really proved themselves that they're road warriors. And they're very excited about tonight. We're excited. We got to thank, the rest of those, Struthers and Poland had great years this year. Hubbard's still in it. Niles is still in it. Lakeview's still in it. We're still in it. South Range. So I want to say congratulations and good luck to all our other NEA teams and to Nick and to Hallie over there. They just had fantastic years also.
Last question for me, Coach. There's going to be a great ticket tonight, no matter which team ends up on the favored side of the scoreboard. If you had one ticket to any event from history, in the future, the present, what would it be and why?
We talking athletics or anything?
Anything.
I probably would take my wife somewhere. Somewhere nice after the season. She does a lot for our team. The girls love her. If we can have a ticket to spend a weekend somewhere, I think that would be really cool.
I love it. Coach, thank you so much. We're emptying the buses right now as we speak to South Range High School with all the burgundy and gold. We will see you tonight. Excited to see you, Coach. Thank you so much for stopping by here. And best of luck tonight and moving forward in the tournament.
And guys, before I leave, I just want to say thank you to you guys. You guys are class act, man. I'm telling you, back in the 80s, way back when I played, we didn't have anything. This is so exciting for these girls to have this kind of opportunity and this kind of coverage with you guys. Hats off to you guys, man. You do a hell of a job.
Thanks, Coach B. We appreciate you. You didn't have to say all. I mean, we're not really emptying buses, so you didn't have to lie to cover it.
Hey, just have room for our four we're bringing down. No. I mean four buses. Not four people.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys.